Welcome back. Let's continue to this now. Many Namibians say they are hoping that a new government will address the challenges of poverty and unemployment in that country. Voting started well in Windhoek, where the two front-runners cast their ballots at different polling stations. For the latest, let's now cross live to SABC News International Editor Sophie Mokoena, who is at the Namibia University of Science and Technology. Sophie, a very good afternoon to you. So, like many elections in the SADC region, these elections are crucial for many Namibians as they seek positive change, as we've just said now after the elections. Talk to us firstly from a logistical perspective, how polling is going today and what the experience is like for the thousands casting their ballots.
Well, the polling stations that we visited since this morning, things were running very smooth. We started here in town in Windhoek, where the Vice President of Namibia was going to cast a ballot. And thereafter, we went to a township called Soweto, a polling station there. Things were also running very smooth, and voters were very happy, and the process was very smooth and professional. Now we are here at the University of Technology, but at the hotel school site, where we saw very huge number of young people turning up today to come and vote. And even now, it is very, very hot, but you still have people in these long queues, as you can see behind me. And I think it's going to take a long time for the Electoral Commission officials to finish those who are in the queues here. But we know that voting will stop at 9 p.m., but those who are within the vicinity of the polling stations will get assisted. And also we know that in the countryside, like many other countries, there are issues there, arrival of ballot papers and also not enough ballot papers, but Electoral Commission saying that they are attending to those concerns. For now, Namibia is relatively peaceful, and people are just looking forward to do what they are supposed to do as part of their civic duties in terms of voting. And of course, then they will wait for the results. Counting will start immediately after 9, where voting has been completed tonight.
Let's talk about what is at stake, Sophie. We know, of course, SWAPO has governed that country since independence, essentially, from 1990. Early polls are suggesting that the Vice President, Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, could be at the country's helm. What are you hearing and what are you able to tell us in as far as what's at stake?
Clearly, you are correct. No. The story of Namibia is similar to the story of any African country with the young population that is restless. And therefore, you have young people who are talking about change. And it's quite difficult to determine what this change is about and who is going to benefit. But the issue here is unemployment. And young people are saying we need leadership that will respond to the challenges that we are facing with the discovery of oil, gas, and hydrogen. This must benefit us. We are not going to be like our forefathers, our forebears, who allowed the colonizers to come to the continent and just take the minerals raw as they are, and they have developed their countries. You look at regions such as North America, you look at Europe, all those minerals that were exported to those countries, and they were then developed into fully fleshed products that were sent back to the continent and other regions. And today you have these beautiful regions, and therefore Africans are saying, gone are those days. And the young people in particular are saying, it's not about sentiment and history, it's about when you get in there, what are you going to do to change the lives of ordinary people in Namibia. This story is similar. You go to any country, including South Africa. This is the view from ordinary young people in South Africa who are saying, yes, South Africa has got gold, has got diamond, has got uranium, has got lots of the current much needed resources, mineral resources that can develop technology around the world. So how are you going to beneficiate so that the value chain does help to change the lives of ordinary people? That's the story. Now the question is, who is that person who they think can do just that? And the voters' role here, 61% are just young people. So you can imagine the anxiety. You look at the queues, it's all young people. Even in this township where we were, there were lots and lots of young people. This morning at school, lots and lots of young people. Here at the polling station, at the Institution of Higher Learning, lots of young people. It's not only students from this institution, it's just young people around the vicinity.
And I mean, just talking and looking at the other contenders, we understand, of course, there are 14 opposition candidates. And as you've also alluded to, that young people need change. Just talk to us about the standout of the opposition candidates, who's leading the pack currently. Dentist turned politician Penduleni Itula, who came second, in fact, in the 2019 elections.
Well, he did cast his ballot earlier on, and there's a package later on you'll see where he spoke about his views, and he pointed out that he's ready if he gets the nod to lead this country, to lead the country in a good direction. And also you have others, including the leader of the landless movement, is promising to ensure that land does return to people, particularly the indigenous people that we will be speaking to tomorrow, who are saying that they are excluded in terms of land redistribution. You also have other leaders here who are also promising. And when you look at the manifestos of these countries, I was talking to the ANC Deputy Secretary General, Sophie Mokoena, who's here, as you know, that when there are elections in the Southern region, the liberation organizations do support each other, saying that the issue of young people cuts across all manifestos. And this should be the approach in all countries, because yes, the population of Africa is very, very young right now. And if you don't respond to the concerns of young people, you don't empower them because they've gone to school. You know, yesterday I spoke to the first-time voters. They told me something. They said, we watch SABC News because we get better information and empowerment in terms of what's happening around the world, where we can tap into opportunities also. Today, a few hours ago, I spoke to a group of young people, very educated, some with master's degrees, saying we just have to carry on and collect the qualifications because we can't find jobs. And at the end of the day, they will be overqualified. And therefore, I think Africa must really attend to this issue of unemployment of young people, particularly because some of them are very patient. They want to use democratic means to communicate their messages. They don't want to resort to violence. And therefore, it is up to leaders to respond to those concerns in terms of ensuring that they don't get disgruntled and perhaps get abused and used by different forces around the world. Because the scramble for Africa is intensifying, and people would even use young people to do certain things, not in the interest of those countries or the citizens of those countries, but because people just want to take the resources of this continent.
Absolutely. And I mean, as we're speaking, Sophie, we have been, of course, reporting that Namibia has seen relatively strong economic growth in recent years, but it does still become an unequal country, and that is of concern. And of course, as you rightfully put it, for young people as well. But let's leave it there for now, Sophie. You've got a long day ahead of you as you monitor those developments there for us. Sophie Mokoena there is the International News Editor here at the SABC.